Do you ever think about getting old? Well, you are, whether you think about it or not. And that makes you part of the fastest growing minority in this country. Because old age is a minority. If you want to be able to use all your experience and knowledge later on, you ought to start planning today. If you want to go on being a productive, vital part of society when you get older, you should get involved. Now, think about it. What will you want? What will you need? But you'd better do it soon, because one day you will be old. Maybe sooner than you think. So get off your rocker while there is still time. Stand up for gray liberation, or be prepared to sit back and rock your life away.
Gray liberation. I guess I better get off my rocker.
A public service message from this station, the Advertising Council, and the National Council on the...
Gray liberation. Remember, the old people are the largest voting bloc in the U.S. Don't piss them off. It's Wednesday again. It's the Wednesday Night Mouse Party. Tonight, we have DJ. How's it going, DJ?
It's going well. Glad to be here.
And Iron Road. Have you changed your official title to Iron Road Reviews, or is it still just Iron Road?
It's still Iron Road on there on my YouTube channel. I haven't changed it officially, but maybe not. I think I'm just going to keep it as Iron Road, but keep the logo as Iron Road Reviews.
Okie doke. And Baron SVG. How's it going, Baron?
Pretty good. YouTube is a shithole. Don't use them. Stop watching this. Turn that off.
Don't tell them now. Tell them at the end.
Yeah, now they're just gonna stop watching.
Good.
Go over to Rumble.
I am on Rumble, but it's mainly it just mirrors the YouTube stuff.
Well, I was just telling that. I was telling the audience that, not you. But
Go to your local gun shop. Chat with them. I'm disappointed. We haven't lost a single viewer.
Let me play one thing here before we go out and see who's out in the live chat. Gun Websites is doing an Indiegogo to try and raise funds to buy a big fancy sewing machine robot to get back into doing patches again. So I meant to get the link for that. But if you, Baron, can you drop a link for his community tab?
Yep.
I think he's got more information on his community tab. So if you're interested, pop over there at some point and you can read more. And let's take a look out in.
He has what would you call it, reward tiers for it. So if you give him a certain amount of money, you will get patches back once he gets the machine.
Yes. First was Faride, and I'm apologize if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. I'm just taking a stab at Bjorn.
Do you want me to have Santa Claus pronounce it?
Content Barbecue. G23, who is out of the hospital.
hey,
So on the mend. DJ Play Nice. Artak and Daughters. Wow, he's staying up late. Oh, maybe not. Stop by to say hello. Well, hello. Roy Munson. Wesley Foster. Daniel, God is my judge. Two Life Movies. Gary Gizzard. Gary. Gizzard. aka Gay Gary.
Yeah, I saw that. You
Mr.
know,
Gay. What?
Gayazard Gay, wasn't it? From last night's poll.
I didn't see it. I was listening to it while I was doing other stuff.
He's from Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana. Yeah. So let me call up this week's poll. Where did I put it? There it is. All right. And that one. So it was, how do you peel your banana? From the tip, from the stem. I don't like bananas, and get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty apes. Unfortunately, when you do polls with pictures, you only get 14 characters, so I had to condense some of the wording in these. That's why monkey is spelled incorrectly. Because if I put the E in monkey, that's 15 letters, 15 characters.
I wish I noticed that poll because I would have asked in the comments, "What's a banana?"
See, I don't do any of these. I cut it in half with a knife and then peeled from the middle.
I always do it from the tip.
Yep. After, well, I'll get to that here in a second because we'll look at the comments. And let me, if I don't do newest first, some of the comments don't show up. So I have to remember to always do that. DJ Play Nice said, like Andy Warhol. Guns and Barbecue used to peel from the stem until I learned how much easier it is to peel from the tip. Figure if that's how monkeys do it, then I should at least try it. That's why I changed. I was watching some nature show, probably on Discovery or BBC, and the monkeys were pinching it from the tip. So I changed the way I peel the bananas.
Does that mean we're devolving?
Well, when I start flinging my poop at people, then yeah, maybe. My wife refuses to change and peel it from the tip. And anytime I bring it up, she just starts yelling, no.
Smacks it out of your hand like they do in the Kit Kat bar commercials.
Gun Website said from the tip, like nature intended. MCK banana, yeah. Banana to mouth, not mouth to banana. And Tactical Maverick put a link in there. I'm not sure where that leads. I'll have to look at that in private. Which X Adams 1 said in private. And Sergeant Joe Smith said Mouse Man has run out of ideas for the overnight.
Clearly.
Which I responded to him and said no. I thought of it because I was eating a banana at the time. I'm just looking at the link that Maverick. Oh, I will share it, and hopefully we don't get a strike for it, because it's okay. I don't think he's playing baseball anymore, but he played for the Mariners for a little while. Kawasaki. So,
what happened to you? Huh? What happened? Just up. Cramp? Just up. You told me what can you eat to help make you feel better? Banana.
What the heck happened?
Can't hear him.
Oh. All right, hold on.
You got the volume way too low.
Yeah.
Sorry. Here you go. Let's see if I can get it way too loud.
Today. Oh, feeling good. What happened to you? Huh? What happened? Just crap. Just a cramp? No, just crap. You told me what can you eat to help you make you feel better? Bananas. Why bananas? Monkeys never craps. Monkey never crap. Because monkey every day bananas. 2. So how many did you have today? 3. How about 3? Oh yeah. So you no more cramp for you. I need 3 banana because monkey never clap.
Oh, I'm so much immature. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Don't
he
forget-
was.
don't
He's
forget the
always
banner.
like that. He's really funny. Not the greatest player, but you know, he was all right. Yeah. All right. And it's gonna go back up.
Birdie. I figured that much.
Faride. So if I mispronounce it in the future, I apologize. I will effort to get it correct. And oh yeah, thank you. Let me get the right one going. There we go. At the bottom of the screen, there is an email address and a link. You can send in comments, suggestions, or pictures within reason. untacticalfast@gmail.com, or the link there. That'll get you somewhere. And in the description, there's a link for the Gilded Overnight Gilded server. It's another place you can share pictures or just hang out, chit chat with other people.
It's where the conversation continues.
Yeah, and there's I think I also put a link for the Indiegogo for gun websites Indiegogo. I think there's a link for that in the description too. I don't know. I don't remember because I did it this morning. So, and all right, I think that's everything. I went to renew my eyeglass prescription. One of my contacts. I was on my last set of contacts. Went in and did the eye test, and the assistant puts up the eye test, and she goes, "Read the lowest line you can." I said, "Yeah, I can't read any of them." So she changed it, and I saw she, put up bigger letters. She goes, "How about now?" Nope. Changed it again. How about now? Nope. She changed it again, made them bigger. How about now? Nope. I failed the eye test.
Shit.
Yeah. Then went with my glasses, and even with my glasses on, it wasn't great. So I could only read like the second line down. Then when we got to the part where, the eye doctor will go 1 or 2, which one's clear, 1 or 2. Got all that set, got to where, it was where I could see. And then she goes, "Well, this is your current prescription," and clicks it to another one and said, "This is what your eyeglass prescription is." And there was quite a bit of difference. So my eyes have gotten worse in the last couple of years. So I have to gonna go down tomorrow, see if I can just replace my lenses on my glasses so I don't have to buy new frames. Go down and talk to the Pearl Vision at the mall. But yeah, it happens so slowly that you don't.
Wonder if there's a spelling error in this comment.
I don't know. Well, when you're young, there's lots of things that can happen with your cousin.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, they gave me a set of contacts with the new prescription, and wow, it's nice to be able to see again.
Shooting will be easier.
Wow.
Probably.
Be able to see the target?
Yeah, that's at 200 yards, it's just a little suggestion of a white blur out there. Little white dot that kind of I know is there. And when the eye doctor was saying, yeah, so with my contacts, for stuff up close, she goes, yeah, wear reading glasses. I said, well, I only wear them at work, so that I don't have to wear glasses. Yeah, she's like, yeah, well, you'll need them to read. I said, yeah, I know, but I don't want to. Well, but she's like, no, to read, you have to. I understand that, but I don't want to wear them. I purposely don't wear them at work. They kind of get in the way. Yeah, but if you're going to read, then you need. I understand that.
It's like what was there was like a one tactical thing that John Lavelle was about from Warplay. He was talking about blinding power, and he's one FBI guy told him was like, "Oh, he doesn't really care about that." And he was like, "Well, what was like?" And it's like, "Oh no, I know the art, but I just don't care."
And she ended up like, well, yeah, okay, whatever. If you don't want to, then you don't have to. It's like, okay, thank you. At work, when I'm working, you get a little sweaty, the glasses fall down. And then it used to be when I'd have to tackle people, the glasses would come off. So I stopped, I switched the contacts just to make it all easier. And then she's like, well, how do you read? Well, it's just kind of squinting and guessing, good enough to get me there.
So has anyone bought any new guns lately?
No. I've been trying to save up financially to do some other things that are more important, and then also 114 is still kind of a pain in the rear right now, because even though none of it has gone in effect, it's the threat of it going into effect has caused a big run on guns and causing problems with the background check system we have here. Anyone else?
They've complete gun? No.
I haven't bought a new firearm since calendar 21, so not recent.
Went to the gun shop, looked at their stuff, and I don't have any money, so I don't buy anything.
Yeah, you get nothing.
Yeah, I looked at the 1911s. I really kind of want a 1911 now. I don't know. But I have a habit of starting to save up and then spending it on other stuff. So
I know a place that is selling 1911 100% frames, so you got to go through an FFL for like under 150. I won't say the exact number because YouTube, but if you wanted to build one, you could start with one of those.
Oh, I don't know.
They're pretty fun. So Faride said, do you think my name is hard to pronounce? Bjorn's is really hard to pronounce. Pronounce?
Pronounce. Yeah, well, I get that. My last name is really, really hard to pronounce.
Yeah, you told me once. I was like, yeah, sorry, man, I can't do that.
I'll just wait. Like if If it's somewhere where they announce your name, I wait for the pause. Then I know it's me. You know?
Wait,
You can hear like
Fossum.
their brain thinking how to pronounce this.
Yeah, because you'll hear them, start to list off people, and then once they hit the pause, yep, that's me. That's me.
Fossamaile? Am I close? No.
We just doxed Foss on air.
Not if you can spell it. Not if you can spell it.
It's always
My
been
bad, Matt.
always funny when it comes to my name because people try to pronounce my name and they say things like IC and they try to say my name one time with a L in it and it's like there's no L in my name. Where did you get that?
Yeah, Bjorn said my real name is There's a character in there which I don't know. That's what I have to hear.
It's like a overpronounced O or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, I was kind of curious on after that long stay and all that.
Bankruptcy is a thing. Those bills can get pretty big.
Yep. Fake your own death.
We do another chip challenge. He just never comes back on camera.
Oh, dear goodness.
So Bjorn said the P-looking character is a TH sound. I still am gonna have to hear that one.
It's a sound. His real name is Batman.
And oh God is my judge. My real name is Batman.
I'm Batman. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. Apparently, Freedom Ammunitions is down.
Inspector Parr is telling G23, fake your own death and come back as a dude named Phil Shifley.
I don't get that one. Who's that?
I will tell you here in just a second. Well, that's not the right one.
So is his name Thorolf?
Yeah, Phil Shifley. I don't remember if it was a skit or part of a TV show, but somebody that visits their own funeral disguised as Phil Shifley. That's what it has to do with.
Imagine faking your own death to get away from all these people and then wanting to be around them again at your funeral. That's weird, right? Just get the fuck out of there.
Holy crap. G23 said I stopped asking about the bill after day 6 in the hospital. It was $850,000 minus the 2 surgeries.
Oof.
Bankruptcy. I wasn't joking.
Uh,
If you don't get anything they can take, no harm in it, really.
wow. That sucks.
Yeah, you could be paying that off for the rest of your life.
Ooh.
Oh,
Guns and
yeah.
barbecue.
My stepdad, he has a Polaris quad that he has a sprayer attached to, so he could spray the weeds out of his field. And one day he flipped the quad, and the handlebar smacked him across the face while it was rolling over the top of him. Broke his face, his nose, his orbital bone, and it was rush hour traffic on the Highway 30, and so they had to get him out of there. And Lifelight had to come in. That was like some $114,000 just a ride from, I think it was like Rainier to Portland.
G23 is waiting to hear back about getting some charity to help with the bill. Wow.
We could start a GoFundMe, maybe.
I mean, you can't even get that much money when you're like trying to take down the NFA. I don't know how you're going to get that much for a medical bill.
Well, if it's a
That's a
mission
lot.
hospital, there's a really, really good chance that a large portion of that would be forgiven. Even public hospitals would do that. If it weren't for my having been at a mission hospital the first time I had a couple of major surgeries, there's no way. I mean, I'd still be in that debt. And as it was, to the point that whatever I had saved at the point where I was like 25 was just all gone on it. And I've had one procedure since that was really, really expensive, and a large portion of that was also forgiven. So yeah, best of luck with G23 getting some fundage. That's crazy.
Alrighty. So did you buy anything new, Baron?
I can't answer that without incriminating myself.
So you want other people to tell, but you don't want to tell yourself.
Yeah, I bought 5 things when I went to the gun shop today.
Dear goodness. Was one of them an AR?
Is it fear mongering if I believe it myself?
Well, maybe not, because that might be why I went to the gun shop too.
Yeah. Gun shop was pretty full today.
I bought an AR-10 lower. You know, I've always wanted to build one, but I don't know, kind of didn't really want to build one. So I figured, well, why not? I'll go see if they have one. And they had one left, and I bought it.
See, that's what happens. They tell us we can't have something, and then we're like, why not? Well, you can't have it. Okay, then I want it. I didn't want it before, but now I do.
That's, you know, I was
fucking morons.
Overnight, I think I mentioned that. Yep. Every time. That's why the AR is so popular. It's because they keep trying to ban it, and that's what made it the most popular rifle in the U.S.
I remember when they redefined the Marlin Model 60 as an assault weapon in Washington. You see people buying them. They're like, I need to get a Model 60 before they ban them. It's like, they're not banning them, but I need to get one. It's like, how many Model 60s did they sell? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and then also with the ridiculous gun laws that different states are trying to pass. Since they're doing that as a backlash to the New York Rifle Pistol Association ruling in the Supreme Court, you know, like the expanding the sensitive places and then the AR bans and all that, as they get ruled on by the Supreme Court, now what restrictive laws they did have are going to be struck down. So by bringing up all this and trying to, I don't know how to put it. By throwing a tantrum, they're losing everything, basically.
I think they're seeing if they can call a bluff, if it is a bluff or not. You know, it's like Andrew Jackson. He was like, well, you made your ruling, now enforce it. It's like, what enforcement arm does the Supreme Court have? They can say you're not allowed to do something, but how do they stop you from doing it?
Well, that's what, was it Jackson that said that?
Yeah.
You know, they made their ruling, now let them enforce it.
I literally just said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but exactly. How many cops does the Supreme Court employ?
Well, I don't think they employ any cops, but they are protected by the U.S. Marshals.
Well, it would have to go back to the executive branch to enforce it.
And they're very pro-gun at the moment. So, yeah, things could get interesting. Like, you could have a state like California be like, yeah, we know this is totally unconstitutional, but we're doing it anyway. I mean, there's states like Texas. Texas has more GDP than Russia. Like, if you just cut off federal funding, what are they going to care? They'll just keep doing their thing.
It's like California. If California was a country, it would be like the 7th richest country in the world.
Yeah. So, I mean, what exactly can the Supreme Court threaten to do to these states that are breaking constitutional law? I mean, what are they going to, like try to send in the army? I don't really.
I think the only real thing is that it comes down to the executive office, and then the president could probably threaten to withhold certain things.
Yeah, but if it's federal funds, they don't care.
Right now, as it is, basically, it's just if you get arrested, the federal courts will throw out the trial.
Mm-hmm. But like for gun shops, they'll still confiscate all your inventory, put you out of business, ruin your life for a few years.
Yeah.
Because we talk about, you get up to a federal court and they'll dismiss the trial, or let you out. That could be 5 years down the road.
Yeah, that's the government has basically unlimited funding.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Sorry to be a sourpuss, but that's why people are going to the gun shop in Washington right now. We foresee dark times ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to be that negative.
I am.
We'll see. You know. I think the next Supreme Court session will be interesting to see 2A related, what things will happen. I don't think, like for us in Washington, I don't think that they'll go rogue. I think they will follow with the Supreme Court. They might still propose unconstitutional laws after that, but won't enforce anything that's overturned by the Supreme Court.
Maybe.
Trying to look on the positive side. Always look on the bright side of life.
I mean, the 9th is the same court that said we didn't have a right to conceal carry and we didn't have a right to open carry. So, unless it gets up to the Supreme Court, I'm not liking our odds.
I think we're in a better position than
nationally.
you
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
I'm trying to sell more guns here, Foss. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
What was that one guy? I only care about the industry. Ever?
Which
I'm being sarcastic, people.
So, all right. Well, way to be Debbie Downer there.
Oh, yeah. You want me to keep going?
Barbecue, help us out here. Lighten the mood. Dance, monkey, dance.
Ladies and gentlemen, and whatever G23 now identifies as, we present to you Baron and Gadgets.
Thank you.
You got to shave your head and sweat more.
I was actually like half asleep listening to this because I left up the YouTube screen for the chat to start, and I was hoping I'd wake up to the chat starting, and I'd jump in right away when the chat started. But apparently I was not able to be stirred until something was mentioned about 1911s, and at that point I was like, oh, what's going on? And then I jumped in.
I told Foss to buy a frame and build one.
Oh, yes, do that. I was actually just checking out Tactical Machining to see if they had any 80% 1911 frames. They don't. I was like, you guys suck.
Well, I mean 100% frames.
Oh, who's making those?
Bunch of people. Nighthawk Custom. You can buy frames through.
I thought about getting a Nighthawk and just doing a Nighthawk build.
You can buy Rock Island Armory 1911s. It's just the frame.
Are they the 1911 version of Andersons?
Basically.
Good comparison.
Yeah, I saw the Anderson lowers are still like $50. I think the first lower AR lower that I bought was an Anderson. I paid like $35 for it. It got really crazy when they got up to about $100 for an Anderson. But,
that made me want to barf when I saw that.
They're a good budget option. They work. I've never had a problem with mine. Nothing fancy. I still prefer the Arrow Precision. That's what I bought. Was the AR-10 was the Arrow lower. Partly, it's local. Supporting the local business, and that I like the quality. I have had minor issues, but again, I've never had any problems. It was easy fix, like the what was it? For the pivot pin, the detent spring pocket there. One of them had junk in it, so I just had to run a small bit in there and then clean out the junk that was in there. And then I had a blemish that it was not completely drilled. So I
feel like that's not a blemish. Because blems are supposed to be functional.
It's a feature.
I know. I just drilled it out a little deeper, and then after I figured out why I couldn't get it was like 2 mil or a millimeter short, so it was close enough where I thought it should go in, but everything wouldn't go into place. And after scratching up the anodized pivot pin, I realized, oh crap, there's something wrong here. Got it fixed, and then everything works fine.
So you said that you bought a AR-10 lower. So did you get the AR10 lower or the LR308?
LR308. It's the
Nice.
Aero M5.
That's what I got.
So when this was mentioned before, I proposed maybe doing a series across multiple channels. Yours, mine. I think Baron was interested because, like, I will get a hold of Tamarack tomorrow and be like, hey, I need a LR308 lower.
Yeah, I haven't decided on a caliber. No, this one will probably be a really slow build, just picking up parts now and again. Unless Washington decides to ban parts, then I don't know. I wanted there's not as many options for the AR-10. Yeah, and I'm going to use that interchangeably. You know, I know there's two different formats, but it's just easier. Everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I wanted kind of a big, stupid, ridiculous round caliber, but there really aren't any.
338 Lapua.
Yeah, you know that, or what is it? The 35. Is it Wheelan?
Yeah.
Something that's a little odd, but no, I want like the 467 ass ripper, something like that, just big and obnoxious. I
like it.
Baron pointed out the what was it? The 450, not 450. What was the Marlin? The 4 something Marlin?
Oh,
I think it was 450 Marlin.
450 Marlin.
There was you also have 4440, 44 Marlin.
And I really, really would love to do the crap. Now I'm blanking on their name. Bishop. They have an upper. Would love to do one of their 3. Now I'm blanking on what their round is. The Bishops, but it's a little bit out of my price range because they're like $2,000 for a complete upper.
You know what you do is you buy the regular 308 M5 upper. Then you go pick up some M2 AP rounds, pull the bullets, and put them on a 308 cartridge. Then you got 308 black tip.
Mario Mosen's out there. Good evening, Mario. How's it going? I don't know. Like I said, this will be a slow build, so I've got plenty of time.
Yes. Well, that's another reason I had actually inquired about doing something like that with you, because slow build would be in my wheelhouse with everything that I've got to do around here this year. I've got to probably get a new lawnmower. In addition to that, I've got to rebuild the chicken coop this spring. So, and then my front porch steps are questionable at best, so I need to rebuild those. And while I do that, I'm gonna build a wooden walkway because my yard in the spring and in the fall ends up just turning into a swamp. So having a nice walkway to keep you up out of the mud would be preferred by a lot of people. So I've got a lot of around the house projects that I need to work on. So slow build would definitely be, like I said, in my wheelhouse as well.
Mine is already built.
What a dick.
Yep.
Well, you just have to buy another one.
Yeah. I feel like you should probably go buy at least 3 LR308 lowers.
Maybe 5.
Yeah, might as well.
Tim S is out there. Good evening, Tim.
I wonder what they would do if you braced an LR308. I mean, obviously you're going to have a rifle length barrel, so it's not going to matter. But
I guess they wouldn't do anything then.
I know I was just being a smartass. However, I was just thinking of something. Could you actually do 338 Lapua in a AR chassis, or LR 308 chassis or AR 10 or anything? I'm thinking that round might be too long.
It is.
That's what I thought. That kind of sucks.
It comes up when you're searching barrels.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't really look into it, but I know that, when I was looking at what calibers, that's one of the ones that came up.
I'm not sure why I want to do a build-in 338 Lapua all of a sudden, other than Snob said, doing his in something stupid, and I'm just like, oh man, I've always wanted a 338 Lapua, and I've always wanted to spend $5 a round, and well, this saves me 10 grand from buying a Barrett, so it's like the best of all worlds. But then I'm still like, oh crap, it's like $5 a round. Actually, when I worked at Dunham's, we got in a box of Remington Core Locks in 338 Lapua, and this was, 12 years ago, something like that. And those were $120 for a box of 20. So they were $6 a shot. Then I was just baffled that Remington Core Lock even made 338 Lapua.
So barbecue, help me out here. The Lapua versus standard 308, like plus minus it.
I'm not sure you can make a good comparison between 308 and 338 Lapua.
That's a caliber that comes up a lot for long range.
Yeah.
There's your comparison photo. They are not the same length.
I'm surprised the 338 Lapua is not a belted Magnum cartridge.
Why?
All the excess pressure.
I don't think that's a thing.
So that picture was Lapua V308?
Yep.
Yeah.
Whoa. I've not seen a Lapua around, I guess.
Not really a comparison. I mean,
it's like the
308.
Sorry.
Good effective range, 600 rounds. 600 rounds. Good God. 600 yards, stretch it out to 1,000. 338 Lapua is getting... I've heard of that. I've never looked into it, though.
That's a big old price, though.
They catfished you.
Yeah. Sons of bitches.
Would this been like a really expensive eBay error? Be like, fuck.
Well, at least I wouldn't have already had one.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the difference between 338 Lapua and 338 Federal?
I'm guessing 338 Federal is 308 necked up.
Okay.
Is my hunch. Which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because when you double the weight of a bullet, you double the muzzle energy, right? But when you double the velocity, you quadruple the muzzle energy. So why would you want a bigger round on the same amount of powder? Like if it's just a necked up 308. Unless you're doing like subsonic. Yeah, it's a necked up 308. Good God, that thing's fat.
So like different philosophy of use?
I don't know.
Because does it seem to be with like, okay, but outside of the velocity and stuff, so we're talking about like what, like flatter trajectory overall for greater distances out of the Lapua?
It's basically, think how flat the 300 Win Mag shoots and the 700 or the 7mm Rem Mag. It shoots flatter than both of them.
The 338 Federal?
The 338 will pool.
Oh, okay.
Sure, but yeah.
I was going to ask what you were smoking.
The 338 Lapua shoots flatter than all, like
Yeah,
all
it does.
two of those calibers, 300 Win Mag, 7 mil Rem Mag.
But as far as the federal goes, I almost wonder if that almost comes out subsonic, so you never have to worry about transitioning through the transonic zone, which is why a lot of rounds like the 308 end up falling on their face when you're trying to push them out past 1,000 yards, because that transition from hypersonic to the transonic zone going to subsonic destabilizes the round, and it just goes all cattywampus. So, I mean, obviously, I'm just speculating here, but I'm kind of curious if that could be a reason for the 338 federal.
So you're just getting like a significant drop, or are you getting tumble, like when you get past that 1,000, like you're saying?
Think about when you see a quarterback throw a football and it's got a really tight spiral, and like, man, that's awesome. But then you see him throw football again and it's got a loose spiral and it's not as accurate, things like that. That's what's happening when you start going to that transonic zone, is the ground starts to destabilize and it starts to wobble, things like that. So now the accuracy starts to open up, and I don't think it starts to like tumble end over end or anything, but because of that destabilization, the grouping is going to open up significantly.
Because it's not rotating, it loses the gyroscopic effect on the rotation plane, on the plane that it rotates.
So it's almost like cavitation in water, hydraulic.
Okay, I just looked up 338 federal. It's a big game round, so they're looking for sectional density for penetration.
Oh, okay.
So big old bullets breaking bones. That's what they want.
So like a nitro round?
No. It's still just like a standard pressure one.
Okay.
Let's see. The PSI is.
Is it belted or is it regular? No. Well, it's interesting how 7 and 3, like 7 Ram Mag and 300 Win Mag, they are belted magnums, but these two big cats aren't. 38.
That's because they have a parent case that's belted.
Oh.
Because they're old. The belt isn't for pressure; it's for head spacing.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah. They'd head space off the belt.
I thought the belt was there for holding extra pressure.
No, it got associated with that because the rounds that were belted were high pressure. If that makes sense.
Okay, either you have to stop or I have to quit, because I'm only allowed to learn one new thing a day, and I've already picked up 6, and I can't keep them straight.
So I thought the belting was also for pressure.
Well, because the Sig 22 Fury, they have to have that stainless steel washer in there to have, to take the pressure.
I'm not saying that I think you're wrong, Baron. It's just that I just had assumed, and we know what happens when you assume things.
You make a out of you and me.
Yeah.
So to cite my sources, I got this information from Ron Spomer, big game hunter.
I like his takes sometimes, but most of the time I don't really like what he says.
And what the hell is this 22 Fury round? What did you say?
The Sig 2, it's a 277 Fury. It's basically a high pressured 270 round that's going to be in the MCX, I think, the new squad automatic machine gun.
Ah, yeah, okay. I remember Barrett talking about this like when that was announced, like last year or something.
Yeah,
okay, I'm back on it.
And one thing is like the whole military community, at least the grunts, are just kind of going, why? Especially like your tier 1 tier 1 grunts like your Marsoc and your SEAL Team 6, which is DevGru and stuff, because they've been off the beaten path for a long time. Like they've been using, I think it was like 6.5 Grendel they were with for a long time, and not using 5.56 at all.
Do you want me to blow your mind?
Yeah, go
308 Winchester has a higher SAMI spec pressure than 7mm Rem mag.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's got nothing to do with pressure.
Oh, I probably won't go with a 308. Just, that's what I had wanted to do, was a 308 AR-10 for a while. But I just feel that it shouldn't be. If I had a 308, I'd rather have a Garand.
You are going to reload, right? So you got a 300 blackout. You got a 30-06. And if you get a 308, you got 3 guns that all run the same exact projectiles.
Well, someday I might. I've got my Lee press right here, but
that's a huge selling point.
That's the funny thing for me right now is that I got a 30-06. I hunt with that. That's my first ever gun, and then I got my Grand, and then I also have my AR-10 that I bought a 308 barrel for. But then I also got my Ruger American and 6.5 Creedmoor, so it's like I'm just a barrel swap away from changing the caliber on that AR-10.
Can you do me a favor, Baron? Grab Chasing Ghost. It's Tara Smith's Kitchen's other channel, her motorcycle stuff.
Are we sure it's really
nice.
her?
Yes, I know it's her.
So I just thought of something. I should do an LR308 build in 300 Savage.
That is a bit off the beaten path. You don't see those too much. 300 Savage or 300, what was it? 300 Weatherby? You don't see that. Weatherby, you don't see anything made by Weatherby anymore.
I briefly thought about the 8.6 blackout, but I don't know. It has never really interested me.
I'm waiting to see if that's a flash in the pan.
Well, plus Artak and Daughter, I know he's doing a build, and I don't want to do it exactly. He gave me shit when I did my 350 Legend because he was building a pink 350 Legend at the same time.
Oh, man.
So Baron put out a link for Chasing Ghosts. That's Tara Smith's Kitchen. She is doing her motorcycle stuff on a separate channel now. So if you're into Harleys, check it out.
So honestly, if I shouldn't say if, I really do plan on doing an LR308 build this year. I'll probably do it in 6.5 Creedmoor just because I have my Thompson Center LRR already in 6.5 Creedmoor. So it just kind of makes sense on that realm. But then again, I just thought of something. Doing a build in 243 wouldn't be bad. When you look at the availability of ammo and cost of it. And at the end of the day, you can have a lot of, if you have a range where you can even do it, but guys are taking 800-yard shots with 243, doing short, long range, I guess you could call it. And with a 243, that looks like a ton of fun.
Well, and that's the funny thing too. My brother hunts with a 243, and my dad didn't really like or approve of his way when it comes to hunting, shooting a 243. Is like he will shoot a deer, he'll get 2 or 3 bullets into a deer before it finally goes down. But you give him a good heart and lung shot, he'll drop it 9 times out of 10. My dad was amazed at the damage a 243 would do to a deer.
Yeah,
243 is not a bad round. Sorry, Puss.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah, I probably won't go with 6.5 Creedmoor. I've got my 6.5 Grendel.
Well, and what's
Yeah.
real.
And all of this is with the caveat that even if I talk bad about it around, if I were to build that and take it out shooting, it would automatically be, well, hey, this isn't so bad. I know that would happen, but I just don't know what I want to make it yet.
Yep.
For the same price of a LR308, you could buy an M1.
Well,
And then you get your 35 wheeling, your monster round, right? Your, what'd you call it? Your Tyrannosaurus nut kicker?
Ass ripper or whatever he called it.
No, that was the 467 ass ripper.
Oh. The what really gets me is that what's interesting is how we have kind of come full circle, because like 6.5 Creedmoor hit the market and then there was craze for it, and then they hit 6mm arc, and then you got PRC, and then and it seems like the 6mm craze has kind of died down a little bit. But what's real interesting is that it seems like it's guaranteed to stay here now. But like years ago, 260 Remington hit the market, but rarely, like very few people actually flocked to it.
Well, I think part of that reason is just the day and age that it happened. You look at 6.5 Creedmoor, and one of the reasons it caught on is it was advertised as the 308 killer. And overall, for a hunting round, like if you're talking about a 100, 200 yard shot, fine. 500, 600 yard shots, I wouldn't advise even taking that with a 308, let alone 6.5 Creedmoor. But as far as, again, when you're starting to get out to that 1,000 yards plus, that's where the 6.5 Creedmoor really did really shine over the 308. Then, like you mentioned, the 6mm arc, but before the 6mm arc was actually the 6mm Creedmoor. And what people have found is that 6mm round, or around the 260, 270, I think like 264 projectile is like most ideal for getting a great ballistic coefficient, as well as just a cost-effective round and whatnot. So, yeah,
Oh, and
as
that's
far
the
as
other
that,
thing.
good.
That's the other thing. It's like the irony that we went full circle and America kind of stayed stubborn on its 30 caliber until recently, and then now the first time ever, I'm starting to actually see 6.5 Swedish come onto the market.
Two Live Moose said, what cracks me up is all this bullet stuff for deer. I killed my first 10 deer with a stick and string. I killed my first with a Mitsubishi.
Killed my.
Wonder which died faster.
It didn't die.
Oh no!
I hit it. I was only doing when it stepped out in the road. I saw it and was already slowing down. So I hit it in the ass and it flipped it around and ran off.
See, you got to aim for the vitals. What were you thinking?
I know, an unethical strike.
Yeah.
If you would have had some string and wood on the front of that Mitsubishi, you'd have just obliterated that deer.
264 Winchester Magnum is what you were thinking of, BBQ. It was introduced in the early 60s.
There was a guy that had a 6.5 Creedmoor. He was a couple bays down from me at the outdoor range with a break. Every time he shot it, it would rattle my teeth.
Oh, yeah. In regards to the 264, no, I wasn't thinking of any particular caliber in general. I just know that recently, again, guys are loading Wildcat cartridges that are catching on in that 264 I guess caliber, you could say. But that specific cartridge is what I should have said. And yeah, Voss, friggin', there was one time, actually it was this past year, I was trying to shoot my 6.5 Creedmoor with the current optic that's on it. And that's one of the reasons I've come to the conclusion that I need to find some sort of video device type deal where I can have a screen that's showing me what my scope is seeing to even try and shoot rifles at this point, which kind of sucks, but I have found something, but I'm not sure about it yet. We'll see. But I accidentally took a shot with my ears off, just completely forgot to put them back in. And oh my God, that is a mistake you will not make twice.
Yeah, I think that was the same day that I couldn't see my gong at 200 yards. It was kind of blurry. So I would take my glasses off, and I wasn't even thinking that I was taking my safety glasses off. But I would take my glasses off to shoot, and then put them back on, and look. And when I got home, I realized I still had my contact lenses in. That's why everything was blurry when I would put my glasses on and try and do the scope. Yeah, Baron, for the reloading, I haven't started. I've got a little bit of powder. I've got some bullets and stuff and some casings, but
you definitely got some brass. I remember that.
Yeah, I've got brass, but I still don't have primers. I've got some small Magnum pistol primers that G23 gave me a while back. But I don't have any small pistol primers. So I just kind of figuratively put all that to the side for now. I still will deprime, collect my brass, separate it, deprime the 40, the 10, and can't remember. I know I've got, those are the two that I'm doing mainly because I don't have the other dies set up that I have.
I need to start reloading, mainly for that 300 Savage, just because 3-year cycle for ammunition really sucks, and seems like anymore with the way ammunition has been the last few years, that cycle's gotten broken even worse. So I haven't heard anything official that they stop the 3-year cycle, but it's been quite a few years since I've seen any on the shelf, which, like I said, 3-year cycle, you see it like every 3 years and you pick it up when you can, but I feel like it's been 5 or 6 at this point since I've seen it on the shelf.
I've never heard that term. What do you mean by the 3-year cycle?
Meaning they only do a run of 300 Savage every 3 years, and this is pretty industry standard. So whether it be Hornady,
of their boutique Wildcat cartridges,
yeah, it's like even 9mm. Manufacturers do all this on a cycle. It's not like they say, all right, we're gonna do 10,000 rounds of 9mm today, and then we're gonna set up and do 30-06, because every time they do something like that,
that's constant changing dies and powder measures and stuff.
Exactly. So they do a bunch of bulk stuff and things like 300 Savage, which, I mean, it's a great round. Unfortunately, the 308 was made and it pretty much killed it. But because it does have a demand, but the demand's not high enough for them to even do it once a year. It's on a 3-year cycle.
Yeah, I want to get, once I get back into messing with the reloading stuff, do the pistol rounds, get that down before I worry about rifle rounds, with all the kneeling and cutting and whatever.
Yeah, that's something I've thought about because I'm just struggling to decide what press to go with. Because part of me is like, well, if I'm doing rifle rounds, single stage would be more than adequate. Because at the end of the day, I want my ammunition to be extremely accurate. However, at this point, also, I'm like, might not even be worth loading rifle rounds because if I can't shoot rifles anymore, what's the point of that? Other than the fact that I can stockpile a bunch of rifle rounds for my children, and then when I croak whatever guns they were to inherit, they get a ton of ammunition with, which wouldn't be a bad thing. But then, multi-stage progressive press would be nice for doing pistol rounds, because with those I'm not so worried about accuracy over quantity. But then I heard I think Dylan makes a press that can work both as multi-stage or a single stage. Just you have to manually rotate the turret.
I got a question. Please don't take offense. Are you worried about messing up the reloading process and getting a kaboom?
I've thought about that, but I've talked to enough people. There's a lot of different measurement tools and stuff out there that are actually geared towards people with visual impairments. Okay. So not as worried about that as I once was. But there still is a small fear of it.
Because I don't even trust myself. I know I would fuck it up.
You're saying...
who's the guy that just blew up his subscriber's gun? Is it Eagle Run?
Oh, I know.
Eagle Eye?
His name Kentucky Ballistics blew up his 4570.
He's blowing everything up now.
No, yeah, not that guy. The guy that was doing 8.6 Blackout, and he was one of his subscribers asked him for help troubleshooting, and they started shooting some of the rounds he loaded. He kaboomed his gun.
It wasn't Eagle Eye shooting, was it?
I think it was.
Because I'm just curious because Eagle Eye is an awesome dude, and he actually is a machinist and will do complete builds for people. He does amazing work, and it's really cool too because if you go check out his channel, you'll see where he's teaching his son and whatnot the finer points of machining, and he goes into why he does barrels the way he does. And when you start listening to some of the stuff that he's doing, like, man, that makes a lot of sense. One day, if I'm able to find a way to still shoot rifles, I will probably send off to him to have a build done. And honestly, his prices are not unreasonable.
It was not Eagle Eye shooting.
No.
Is it Eagle Eye Reloading? There's too many YouTubers.
Too many that are named Eagle Eye, apparently.
Yeah.
Tim was asking, is it the 550 Dylan?
I couldn't remember if it was a 550 or a 450. It very well could be a 550.
Eagle Reloads, not Eagle Eye. My bad. I am
Eagle
fake news, as usual.
That's all right, Baron and Gadgets.
That's why I usually say I'm probably wrong whenever I say something I'm not directly looking at. I will say, if you want to get into reloading, safest thing you can do, black powder.
Truth.
There's that video by Iraq veteran. He literally dumps the entire barrel full of powder, puts like 4 balls on top, and it breaks the stock, but it doesn't blow the gun up. But I mean, it's really hard to kaboom a black powder gun. Unless you put smokeless in it, of course.
True.
You ever seen that? The smokeless powder muzzle loaders? That was a bad idea.
No, I haven't seen those. I didn't even know that there was ever such a thing.
Yep.
There's probably a reason.
Yeah.
They don't make them anymore.
And you got all
They
those
sell-
shooters out there with Pyrodex pellets.
Tim has said he wasn't sure about the Dylan either. He's a Lee single stage user.
Yeah, that's what I have looked at is probably like a Lee or a Hornady single stage, just due to price wise. But it's something I need to inquire about more and really figure out exactly what I want to do. But then again, I'm like, maybe start off with a single stage anyways, even if I'm doing pistol rounds with it, because at the end of the day, if I am worried about a kaboom or something like that, I can not have that much invested and walk away from it. Likewise, if I'm like, oh, I'm not having any kabooms, blind guy's good at this, no problem, I can always go get multi-stage press later.
That's what Gun Websites, he likes the single stage because you're doing one process at a time. You can concentrate on what you're doing. You know, you don't have other things that can go wrong because you're just doing that one thing. I've got the classic press, which you can use it like a single. Because when you pull the handle down, it'll do its process. And then when you push it back up, if you push it all the way up, then it'll rotate. But if you stop just short, then it'll stay on that same stage. I don't know if you can mentally visualize that. There's a center rod that has a twist, and that's what makes the turret turn. So if you stop just short of that twist, it'll stay on the same stage.
Interesting.
Yeah, Tim S said he's. I find the single stage is more my speed because I'm OCD about my ammo. And Tulai Boo said he always wanted a Savage Model 10 smokeless muzzleloader.
They're on Gunbroker if you got the money.
I do want, that's another thing that I want that I don't know if I'll ever get is I would love if I had nothing else to do is, one of the build your own rifle kit, black powder kits.
Those are so fun to fuck up.
And, and I would love to have a black powder pistol, like a Colt or something like that, but I worry about it rusting. That's, I know if you take care of it properly, that doesn't happen, but that's my biggest fear is knowing myself that I'll be really into it. And then as time goes on, then I get a little lax and then just rusting out.
Get a stainless one and soap and water. That's all you need.
Yeah, I actually saw a video the one time. A guy actually set up a cleaning method that, it wasn't flintlock. Now that I think about it, it was cap lock, but where he put a tube on the cap, and basically he made like this siphon that would run through the barrel and out through the cap, all that fun jazz. But it just worked perpetually. It was kind of cool. And he's like, I just let it do that for a little while and it's clean.
Yeah, as far as the revolver, I knew a guy that would just throw his in the dishwasher.
I have heard that.
Yeah.
I thought about doing that, but
Don't do that
get
with wood
in
grips.
a lot of trouble.
I feel like Mr. Foss would have a problem.
Yeah. There's, I'll tell you afterwards.
Everyone in the house gets lead poisoning from eating off the silverware and plates after that.
Iron Road.
Yes, sir.
You got anything coming up? Anything you want to plug? Videos you're going to do?
No, not really. I've been kind of blanking for material on what to do.
Do something.
I'll try.
Barbecue? Sorry. 2 live moves out there.
That's
Making
okay.
me laugh.
Oh, what did he say?
Oh, man.
What did he say?
Foss says no to butt plugs in the dishwasher.
That's the easiest way to clean them.
I feel like that probably would be.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Could also be the reason why they get screwed up, too.
A barbecue.
Well, I mentioned the Eagle Eye Shooting channel earlier, so go check that out because, like I said, great guy, great channel. Really awesome to see the work he does to build a custom rifle. Like to also say, DJ magically has the ability to come into your show, but 2 shows in a row for me, he just skips out on. Pretty sure he's fired now. Gosh. Hey, Baron, I have a vacancy. But no, thanks for the invite as always. Well, I guess technically you just throw it out in the ethers on Discord. More people should go check that out and jump in here. I mean, granted, you only have room for 1 more person at the moment, but nonetheless, it's a great time. Always enjoy the show. Thank you.
Well, no problem. DJ, I will say that you are appreciated here and will always have a home here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I guess now I have to tell T-Mobile, not only did they make me lose my mind, they made me lose my job. Anyway, I got some things that I'd like people to check out if they have the time. My recommendations are on the Great Start Shooting School channel on Saturdays. There's a discussion about mental health and suicide awareness. Please check that one out. Also, the Costly Conversations podcast channel. And I'm going to drop links to both in the text chat. Check that out. That channel's also got a lot of great long-form interviews going on. Until I see y'all again, be safe, have fun, carry your guns, rock.
I am Bird. How about you?
Take care of your health. Have a good night. And I will say, if I can ever not do the show, I would want DJ to be my replacement.
So check out Gun Website's community channel. Check out his Indiegogo. If you got a little spare cash that you can drop his way. This weekend is an off weekend, so no overnight this weekend. So next Wednesday will be the next Wednesday house party. And I think that's everything. I don't think there's yeah, so I hope everybody has a good rest of the night.